Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Lost River High School for our MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Well, in case you're wondering, yes, this is actually our third MyBasin.com Game of the Week this week. We're really being flexible with the title, but there have been a lot of great games this week.
Yeah, this is the second time we've been able to see Lost River and Chiloquin this week. Back on Monday, they played up north on 97, and now here tonight in Merrill should be hopefully a good rematch from Monday.
Yeah, Monday's game featured Lost River pretty well rested, going up against a Chiloquin team that was playing its fourth game in 5 days. Here, the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Chiloquin hasn't played since that game on Monday. Meanwhile, Lost River is playing their fourth game in 6 days.
Yeah, they after losing to Chiloquin back on Monday, they lost to Rogue Valley Adventist 44-25. Then they fell to Bonanza last night 47-16. Meanwhile, Chiloquin's been able to sit around all week and think about getting back on the hardwood against the Raiders.
They're going to play the national anthem, so we will step aside.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
So looking at today's starters, it's Cece Weezer, Elaine Gilchrist, Naima Head, Layla Weezer, and Talias Ochoa. Same group as started on Monday. Meanwhile, for Lost River, looks like it's going to be Morgan Herring, Macy Thompson, Madison Holster, Ilana Gonzalez, and Betty K. Overcash. Again, no changes to the lineup for either team from Monday's game. Let's revisit that game a little bit. It was a pretty lopsided affair. Chiloquin racing out to an early lead, not really letting up from there.
Lost River has struggled in a lot of first quarters this year. Even last night against Bonanza, it was the first and third quarters that was really the toughest for Lost River. Otherwise, like I said, they lost 47-16 last night, so it wasn't the strongest showing for the team as a whole. But in the second and fourth quarters, it was only an 8-point difference between the teams combined. So it's really just trouble getting started out of a break for Lost River this season.
Chiloquin got out to a 7-0 lead over Lost River in the first 90 seconds on Monday. Queens lose the tip-off here. It's Overcash, back to Gonzalez, over to Morgan Herring. Madison Holster, throwing it in the corner for Overcash. She loses it, but it rolls out of bounds as Cece Weezer tried to scoop it up. Be an inbound for the Raiders with 14 seconds on the shot clock. You mentioned Lost River lost 47-16 to Bonanza last night. Josh, that's 16 points is their season low.
Yeah, Bonanza played really good defense, and Lost River, frankly, just, again, had a hard time getting started. Didn't see them take many triples like that, even though it was missed by Betty K. Overcash. And they're also missing one of their, starters who's been out for about a week now. Cassidy Vaughn, the freshman, is usually pretty active on the offensive end, and she's been out this whole week, and they're definitely missing her.
Cece Weezer brings it up the court for Chiloquin. She finds a lane, drives baseline, tried to bounce it to Talias Ochoa, but it was off the mark. Morgan Herring bringing it up for the Raiders. Overcash. Bounces it to Thompson. She finds Gonzalez, and it's intercepted by Elaine Gilchrist. Pass ahead to Layla Weezer. 3 blocked, but it comes down to Ochoa. Her shot was blocked. Well, much better defense early in the game this time around by Lost River. And Tuesday Herring calls her first time out. Still scoreless here with 6:33 to go in the first quarter. Matt Bowling-Eldridge, YourWatching.com, Game of the Week.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Coming out of the Lost River timeout. They throw it down low to Gonzalez. I think her shot might have been partially blocked. Naima Head was in there. Out of bounds, it's Chiloquin ball. Layla Weezer inbounding to Cece Weezer. Cece brings it up court. Open in the corner, Naima Head misses a 3. Rebounded by Thompson. Turned over. Head finds Gilchrist. Gilchrist blocked by Thompson. Outlet pass to Overcash, too far ahead of her. But Cece Weezer mishandles it in front of her own bench.
Like the fearless interior defense we're seeing so far from Lost River, they've already got 3 blocks.
It was last touched by the Raiders, so it remains with the Queens. Open 3, good for Cece Weezer. 5:40 left in the first quarter, and we've got our first points. It's a 3-0 lead for Chiloquin. Herring. Over to Holster, back to Herring. Overcash. Herring. 13 seconds on the shot clock. She gets it over to Overcash. Now Gonzalez, inside 10. Spinning, throwing it up was Overcash, but she missed. Rebound comes down, and it's going to be a shot clock violation as it never touched the rim. Layla Weezer. .33 points against Lost River on Monday as the three-pointer falls off the mark for Cece Weezer. Pass off target, out of bounds as Amaris Hernandez checks in for Lost River. She led the Raiders with 6 points against Chiloquin on Monday.
And she had a pretty good defensive night last night against Bonanza. She was guarding Bonanza's best player most of the night, Julie Hess, who's averaging over 20 points on the season, held her to 10 last night. Just a freshman is Hernandez, but she's pretty solid on defense.
Name ahead, airballs a 3 from the corner, and a foul committed on the rebound. Looks like it's on Elaine Gilchrist. That's her first, and the first foul call of the game. 4:20 left in the opening quarter. It's still a 3-0 lead for Chiloquin. This is Hernandez. In the corner, Herring. Tried to bounce one in, but it's a kicked ball. And it's going to stay with the Raiders. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Herring into Hernandez. Herring. Tried to bounce pass. That time it was stolen. Layla Weezer. To an open head. Misses the 3. Easy rebound and putback for Elaine Gilchrist. There was nobody around her. .335 to go in the first quarter. Hernandez. Herring. Thompson, the feed to Overcash. She couldn't connect. It's rebounded by Elaine Gilchrist. Outlet pass ahead to Head, and she is fouled and will go to the line. Naima Head did not score when these teams played on Monday. She misses her first free throw. And goes 0 for 2. Rebound pulled down by Thompson. Herring. Holster. Hernandez. Holster rather, pulls a 3. Misses. It's rebounded by CeCe Weezer. Open look for Head. She drives. Too strong on the floater. Thompson, another rebound. Morgan Herring brings it up. 2:38 to go in the first quarter. It's 5-0 Chiloquin. Another turnover on a pass inside. Here comes Head. Gives it to Michaela Jane. Jane in trouble and traveled. Morgan Herring calling the play as she crosses half court. Bounces it into Thompson. Another kicked ball. It's going to stay with Lost River. Madison Holster to inbound. Finds underneath Gilchrist. Layla Weezer trying to direct traffic, throws it down low to Michaela Jane, who lays it in. Hernandez. Herring. And did you see what the signal was there, Josh?
I believe Hernandez walked.
Another turnover for Lost River. 1:40 to go in the first quarter. Raiders have yet to score. Head. Drives. Sends the layup off the bottom of the rim. Rebound by Herring. Over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez throws it down low to Thompson. She misses. Out of bounds, Chiloquin ball. Deep inbound to Naima Head at midcourt. She dribbles up, takes a three, bricks it off the back of the rim, and a foul on the rebound. It's on Michaela Jane. That's her first. And the second on Chiloquin. Foul count 2-1 in favor of Lost River, but there's only 1:04 left in the quarter. Hernandez. Pass ends in a turnover. They get it back, though. Open is Gonzalez. Defense on her quickly. She throws it to Hernandez, who pulls along two and connects. Maurice Hernandez gets Lost River on the board. 35 seconds left in the quarter. Weiser, Gilchrist, and Jane is fouled as she goes up for the shot. Jane misses the first free throw. Ely Hawkins checks in for Lost River as Jane goes 0 for 2. Hernandez brings it up. Gonzalez over to Hernandez. Looking for Hawkins down low, but it goes out of bounds. 11.3 seconds left in the opening quarter. Chiloquin has enough time to set up a shot. Cece Weiser hands it to Layla Weiser. Back over to Cece for three. Airballed long. Out of bounds as the buzzer sounds. And I think they're just going to let the first quarter come to an end on that. A 7-2 lead for Chiloquin. Matt Bowling here alongside Eldridge in our Mind.com Game of the Week.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
A 7-2 lead for Chiloquin as we get ready to start the second quarter here at Lost River. Well, these two teams played on Monday. Chiloquin was up 17-4 at the end of the first quarter. Defense has been just as strong for the Queens, but the shots haven't been falling quite as much.
A strong defense for Lost River on the interior, too. They've let a couple of threes fly, but on the inside, Lost River, for the most part, has been pretty good. A missed opportunity there to no defense, but still.
And a tie-up on the rebound. Possession arrow points to the Raiders. Ilana Gonzalez to Amaris Hernandez. Hernandez throws it to Ayala. She turns it over. Layla Weezer with the steal. Weezer, nice pass to Gilchrist. She can't hit the layup, but Tolias Ochoa gets the putback. Gonzalez to Herring. Gonzalez to Hernandez, over to Herring. Herring's pass off target for Betty K. Overcash, and it's another turnover. Macy Thompson checks in for Ayala as CeCe Weezer brings it up the court for Chiloquin. Layla Weezer trying to create space. Pulls up from mid-range, sends it off the back rim, rebounded by Elaine Gilchrist. Gilchrist bounces it to Head. Head to Ochoa. Ochoa had to keep that one from going out of bounds, and now they turn it over. It's tipped into the hands of Hernandez. And the freshman trying to get it out of the backcourt. Sends it up to Gonzalez. She's got Overcash. Overcash, turnaround, misses. Tie up on the rebound. And this time the possession arrow points to Chiloquin. 6:08 left in the second quarter. It's a 9-2 lead for the Queens. Weezer. Now Gilchrist. Pulls up, comes up well short on that three. Rebounded by Herring. Ahead to Gonzalez. Hernandez feeds Thompson. Thompson, turnaround, bounces in. Weezer ahead to Gilchrist. Gilchrist tries to throw it up over Overcash, but misses. Hernandez. Gonzalez. Herring over to Overcash. Gonzalez. Morgan Herring inside. Thompson misses off the glass. Weezer gets the rebound. CeCe Weezer bringing it across half court. Spinning in the lane. Nice drive and a bucket by CeCe Weezer. Herring. Overcash. Draws a foul as she was surrounded by three defenders. 4:44 to go in the second quarter. Betty K. Overcash, who had 4 points when these teams played on Monday, will go to the free throw line. Banks in the first one. Second one misses. Rebounded by Layla Weezer. Weezer in the corner to Deja Head. Head drives and scores. Gonzalez. Hernandez. Thompson. Mid-range, Herring. That one won't go. Deja Head comes away with it. Layla Weezer thought about a three. Overthrows CeCe Weezer. Out of bounds, Lost River ball. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Two subs in for the Raiders. It's Ayala and Holster returning as Herring and Overcash come to the bench. Hernandez. Throws it right to CeCe Weezer. Ahead to Layla Weezer. Head. Naima Head. To Deja Head. 3 off the mark. Rebounded by Thompson. Gonzalez. And another timeout for Lost River. 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Raiders trailing 13-5 here on our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
13-5 lead for Chiloquin with 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Gonzalez to Hernandez. Now Gonzalez back to Hernandez. Holster over to Ayala. Gonzalez drives, puts it up, misses. Naima Head pulls down the board. Drives, kicks to Deja Head. Deja Head, an open 3, goes in.
She's gotten to that spot a couple of times, finally knocking that one down in the left wing.
Gives the Queens a double-digit lead, 16-5, 2:40 to go in the first half. Into Hernandez. Now back to Gonzalez. Hernandez. Holster to inbound. Hernandez, open 3, misses the rim. Caught by CeCe Weezer. Naima Head for 3. That one too short. Rebounded by Deja Head. Layla Weezer. Hernandez trying to rip it away from her. Comes to Deja Head. And Chiloquin's going to take a timeout. 2:04 remaining in the second quarter. Queens leading 16-5 here on our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Well, as we get ready to come out of this timeout, let's show you the Mountain Valley League standings on the girls' side. Chiloquin, you see there in first place. 14-1 on the season, unbeaten in league play. Ranked number 5 in 1A by the OSAA computers. Lost River, meanwhile, 6-14 on the year, 2-7 in league play. Queens with it out of the timeout. Jane to Deja Head. Deja Head tied up with Holster, and the possession arrow points to the Raiders. Gonzalez. Hernandez. Down low, Gonzalez finds Ayala, who misses. Michaela Jane diving on the floor to get that rebound, gets it to Layla Weezer, who gives it to Cece Weezer. Cece Weezer with a nice drive right through the defense and an easy bucket. 1:15 left in the second quarter. It's a 13-point lead for Chiloquin. Ayala tied up. And it's going to be Chiloquin ball. Gilchrist. Bounces it in, nearly turned over, but Cece Weezer with a nice recovery and a turnaround. 50 seconds left. Gonzalez. Over to Hernandez. Holster. Gonzalez. Turnaround, Macy Thompson off target. 31 seconds to go. Pass ahead to Gilchrist. Gilchrist misses the layup. Loose ball for a moment on the rebound, but Lost River recovers. Gonzalez. 17 seconds. Hernandez. Holster. Ayala. Over Thompson. Throws it right to Layla Weezer. Racing back the other way, getting fouled with 2.2 seconds on the clock was Elaine Gilchrist. Gilchrist did not score on Monday, but she does today. Makes her first free throw. Second one gets a friendly bounce and rolls in. 2.2 seconds on the clock. They're just going to have to heave it. And Gonzalez doesn't even get to. So that's how we end the first half. Chiloquin 22, Lost River 5. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. This is our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
support. Clown Falls, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
A 22-5 lead for Chiloquin here at halftime in the girls' game on our MyBasin.com Game of the Week here at Lost River. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. These two teams met on Monday. Chiloquin led 29-9 at halftime, so all in all, pretty similar first half, but in true Saturday game fashion, the points are not there quite as much.
Yeah, it took both teams a little while to get the wheels turning. Chiloquin really didn't start to hit a lot of difficult shots until the last 4 minutes or so of that second quarter. Now they've built themselves up a comfortable lead, but you're exactly right. These teams just a little bit slow out of the gate this morning. Well, I guess this afternoon, but it certainly feels like morning a little bit.
Yeah, this gym is dead. There's no other way to put it. There's not a lot of energy in the building right now. Don't know if that will change for the boys' game, but yeah, it's pretty quiet in here.
You certainly hope that some people start to show out a little bit for the boys' game. I mean, probably going to be a little bit closer of a contest. The home fans not given much to cheer about right at this moment. But you also hope that people start to show up because it's Military Appreciation Day today at Lost River High School. So current and former military personnel get in for free today. They get some popcorn. So if you're out there watching or listening and you're current or former military, you got nothing else to do on a Saturday, come on out, enjoy some free popcorn, and hopefully some good basketball later on this afternoon.
Looking at the teams that are on right now, as we said, we'll show you the standings again. Lost River well out of playoff contention at this point. 2-7 in Mountain Valley League play. 6-14 on the year. Well, they came into this game on a 6-game losing streak. They've also lost 7 of their last 8. As we discussed earlier, they went down 47-16 to Bonanza last night. That 16 points was their season low. Chiloquin, meanwhile, having an outstanding year. You see them there at the top, ranked number 5, undefeated in league play, only lost 1 game on the season. That was their second game on December 1st, so they're currently on a 13-game winning streak, well on track to make it 14. They've already surpassed last year's win total when they went 11-7, and this currently is their most wins since the 2019-20 season when they finished 20-7 with 4 games left in the regular season plus league playoffs and state playoffs after that. I think they've got a pretty good chance to reach that mark.
It's tough to put a finger on exactly what has switched for Chiloquin between last season and this season. But, I mean, we've seen them play a couple of times so far this year. Aside from that first quarter, they take care of the basketball pretty well. They don't turn it over all that much. And, they can shoot the 3 ball pretty well, too.
Speaking of quiet games, quiet gyms, earlier, it's been a fairly quiet night for Layla Weiser, and she had 33 points on 13 of 18 shooting, including 7 of 11 from 3 in that game on Monday. Here it's actually been Cece Weiser who's scored the majority of the points between the two.
Yeah, and she hasn't done it from beyond the arc so much. She's done it by slicing up the defense and driving to the rim. She's had a couple of nice lanes to the basket moving the ball around, switching hands on the dribble. She's looked pretty efficient so far this afternoon.
Just a few minutes left here in halftime. Another break. Be back with you for the start of the third quarter here in our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Well, Chiloquin starts the third quarter with an and one for Naima Head, and she makes the free throw. Gonzalez brings it up for Lost River. Gives it to Hernandez. This is over Cash with a nice shot through traffic. CeCe Weezer. Head with space along the perimeter, pulls up, misses a three. It's rebounded by Gilchrist. Layla Weezer, deep shot, bounces out off the rim. Hernandez pulls it down. Holster, Thompson, Hernandez, Gonzalez, Thompson, turnaround, too long. CeCe Weezer, long outlet pass to Head. Head bounces it ahead to Gilchrist, who lays it in. Gonzalez turns it over. Talias Ochoa intercepts the pass. CeCe Weezer. Weezer running circles around the defense, kicks to a wide open Gilchrist, who misses a three. Rebound tip to Head, Naima Head, who sends it down low and gets it back. Head finds space, puts up a floater. It won't drop. Rebound deflects out to Ilana Gonzalez. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Chiloquin up by 20. Hernandez to Overcash. Rifles that one off the foot of Layla Weezer. And Lost River will have an inbound. Hernandez throws it into Gonzalez. Hernandez tipped by Gilchrist into the arms of CeCe Weezer. Now Gilchrist gets the outlet pass, spinning in the paint and scoring. The long outlet passes have been working pretty well for Chiloquin. Gonzalez. Hernandez. Holster. Has her pocket picked by Layla Weezer. It ends up ahead to Gilchrist. And that's another easy layup for the Queens. 31-7 they lead, 4:50 left in the third quarter. And Lost River calls another timeout. Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. It's our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Introducing Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Chiloquin coming out pretty hot to start the second half, outscoring Lost River 9-2 in the opening 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
You mentioned it before we went to break. That outlet pass has worked for Chiloquin here in this third quarter. Lost River's paint defense was pretty good throughout most of the first and second quarters, and now Chiloquin's just trying to get behind him in transition, and so far it's working.
Hernandez throws it into Herring. Gonzalez to Morgan Herring. Hernandez. Ilana Gonzalez. Herring. Tried a bounce pass that was stolen by CeCe Weezer, and she's fouled. Gilchrist brings it up court. To Layla Weezer. Lofts it down to CeCe Weezer. Weezer fouled on the shot. .410 remaining in the third quarter. CeCe Weezer can get this to a 25-point game, but she misses the first free throw. Makes the second. Maurice Hernandez throws it into Morgan Herring. Lost River with just 2 points in the third quarter as we pass the halfway mark. Gonzalez down low to Ayala. Finds Thompson, and there's a bucket for the Raiders. Layla Weezer throws it down to Ochoa, who answers on the other end. Hernandez. Ayala. Ayala gets it back from Hernandez, gives it to Gonzalez. Ayala has it taken away from her by Cece Weezer. Wide open on the other side, but missing the layup was Gilchrist. Back is multiple consecutive offensive rebounds, and it ends in a bucket for Cece Weezer. Couple subs in for the Queens. Deja Head and Michaela Jane check back in as Talias Ochoa and Elaine Gilchrist, or not Gilchrist, excuse me, Naima Head come to the bench. Open three for Hernandez off the back of the rim. Cece Weezer with a quarterback throw ahead to Gilchrist. And she's in trouble in front of her own bench, so the Queens will call timeout. 36-9. Chiloquin leads 2:33 to go in the third quarter.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Cece Weezer getting set to inbound in front of her own bench. Into Layla. Over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist to Layla Weezer. Top of the key three misses for Michaela Jane. Ayala had the rebound for a second, but it ends up out of bounds. It will stay with Lost River. Herring. Almost stolen by Layla Weezer. Hernandez recovers it, gets it over to Gonzalez. Open for a long two, Morgan Herring, and that's a break. Rebounded by Cece Weezer. Weezer trying to go coast to coast, but had it poked away from her by Gonzalez. It's out of bounds. It will stay with Chiloquin. Weezer throws it in to Gilchrist. Thought about a three, instead bounces it to Deja Head. Deja Head retreats into the corner, throws it to Layla Weezer. 15 on the shot clock. Weezer bounces it down low to Cece Weezer, and that is an and one. With the free throw here, Cece Weezer can push this to a 30-point margin, and she does. A minute 40 to go in the third quarter. If Chiloquin can maintain it, we'll have a running clock in the fourth. Should help get things back on schedule here at Lost River, as this game started a little bit late.
We had the JV girls at first, and they played the Henley freshmen, I believe, made an appearance tonight, and then JV boys, it was Lost River who ran away with that one in the second half, ran a little bit long, and yeah, hoping to get back on schedule with this one.
Ely Hawkins gets fouled on the shot attempt and will shoot two free throws. Makes the first one. And the second. Deja Head pulls a 3. Misses, but they call CeCe Weezer for a foul underneath. Minute 16 to go in the third quarter. Herring. Hernandez. Herring tried to bounce it down low to Hawkins, but it's taken away by Michaela Jane. Weezer throws it down low to Head. Deja Head with a nice move for the lay-in.
Pump fake, got the defender to jump, then threw it at the rim. That was a really nice move.
Holster over to Herring. Hernandez. Holster taken away by Jane. Layla Weezer to Deja Head. Pass disrupted, recovered by CeCe Weezer. She's unable to keep it in bounds. It'll be Lost River ball. 22.1 seconds to go in the third quarter. Herring. Holster. 13 seconds, turned over. Layla Weezer. Just inside the top of the key. Hands it to Michaela Jane. They send it over to CeCe Weezer. Deep 3 at the buzzer, and that won't go. But it is a 30-point Chiloquin lead as we head into the fourth quarter. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. This is MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Fourth quarter underway here at Lost River. And it starts with a turnover leading to a Chiloquin fast break and a bucket for Elaine Gilchrist. Will be played with a running clock here, except free throws because of the 30-point margin. Oh, nice pass ahead for Gilchrist. A bit too long for her, and a great save and a feed to Layla Weezer, who misses the shot. Queens get the offensive rebound, though, and another possession. Weezer takes a 3. Layla Weezer does. Misses it. CeCe Weezer couldn't get the putback to fall. And out of bounds, back to Lost River.
I see a freshman check in for Lost River. She's wearing the number 2. Paisley Walling in for Lost River. She was one of the 2 girls who helped orchestrate Military Appreciation Night here at Lost River High School. Herself and Cassidy Vaughn went to the athletic director, Sydney Hobgood, earlier in the season and said that they wanted to do this to honor the current and former military in the Klamath Basin. And so tonight, all current and former military get in for free. They get free popcorn. And throughout the night, the public address announcer has been, reading different statistics or facts about the service. And it's a very cool thing that 2 freshmen got this thing started at Lost River.
Yeah, it is. We were also at a Military Appreciation Night for Henley earlier in the season, as Layla Weezer misses a 3. And for those who are watching from out of town, Klamath Falls is home to Kingsley Field, which is an air base of the Oregon National Guard. So there is a strong military presence here in the Basin. And local schools certainly like to take the time to recognize and honor those who are in the military, as I'm sure many of them have kids that are in those schools.
Yeah, Paisley and Cassidy had both mentioned that both their fathers have served for 50 years combined between the two men, so that's very impressive.
Running clock has us at 5:43 remaining in the fourth quarter, as Herring misses a shot. Another nice pass ahead to Gilchrist, who gets fouled. Clock does stop on free throws. Gilchrist misses her first. Gets the second to rattle in. Walling throws it to Thompson. Intercepted by Naima Head. To Talias Ochoa. Gilchrist, mid-range, won't fall. Rebound in the putback, no good for CeCe Weezer. Another offensive board for Gilchrist results in an open 3 missed by Naima Head. Recovered in the corner, though, by Elaine Gilchrist. Drive and missing the layup, Naima Head. Walling couldn't receive the pass cleanly. It was taken away by Layla Weezer. Rifles one over to Gilchrist. It bounces off her hands. She's able to recover it. It was tipped, so no backcourt violation as Naima Head goes back to recover it. On the block and out to Gilchrist, who airballs a 3, rebounded by Layla Weezer. Another 3 for Naima Head, and finally, one drops. 4 minutes to go in this one. It's a 36-point lead for Chiloquin. Another pass almost turned over, but bounced back out to Paisley Walling. She throws it down to Holster. In the paint, Macy Thompson gets tied up. Deja Head checks in for Chiloquin along with Michaela Jane. Naima Head and Lane Gilchrist on the bench, as I think CeCe Weezer is going to shoot free throws. 3:13 remaining in the fourth quarter. Well, they let the clock run a bit during these free throws. It now says 3:08. I will say, I have to wonder about stopping a running clock during free throws. Because if you've reached the point in a game where you're going to say, you know, it's so lopsided, we might as well just let the clock run, why would there be an exception to that?
I suppose the only thing I could think of is so you don't continue to just milk it for 10 seconds before you shoot each free throw, and then you're standing at the free throw line for maybe 30 seconds of game time. That's the only thing I could think of, I suppose.
Walling gets it to Navarro. She has it stripped away. Layla Weezer the other way. A nice feed to Cece Weezer. The two Weezers connecting for a bucket. And gets Chiloquin to 50 points. Pass sailed into the Lost River bench. Cece Weezer feeds Jane. Jane splits the double team but misses. She pokes away the rebound into the hands of Deja Head, who gets fouled. Nice job there by Michaela Jane. She kind of just snuck up on the Lost River rebounders who all had their backs turned. Able to punch the ball out. And I think Chiloquin might have just called a timeout there. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Want to remind you that the boys' game is coming up next. Scheduled for a 4:30 tip-off. Might be a little bit later than that. Shouldn't be by too much, though. You can just go ahead and keep it here on this same live stream. And by all means, it should be a much more competitive game than this one.
Yeah, when those two teams played back on Monday, it was a 9-point difference between the two teams. Lost River was without one of their starting bigs. Chase McAuliffe was out Monday. He should be back tonight because he played last night. So be curious to see if that impacts the game at all. And then kind of like we mentioned coming into this one, Chiloquin's had most of the week off. So they're going to be well rested even though Lost River's back to 100% healthy. It'll be an interesting one. And, yeah, about 4:30 for a tip-off. We'll at least be around for pregame coverage right around then, I'm sure.
1:51 left in this one. Chiloquin getting set to inbound. Layla Weezer to Ochoa, over to Cece Weezer. Layla gets it back, drives, puts up a floater, swish.
Nice touch.
Here's Walling. Gives it to Hernandez. Well, you've got two freshmen and two sophomores out there now for Lost River, and a junior, Julia Ayala, who just missed it in the paint. Weezer to Cece Weezer. Cece misses a three, and Talias Ochoa not able to corral the rebound. Hernandez. Holster. Hernandez pulls a three, misses. Michaela Jane chases down the rebound. It's loose, scooped up by Cece Weezer. 40 seconds to go. Open underneath is Deja Head, and she gets it off the glass. 54-11, Chiloquin has now matched their point total from Monday's game. Walling. Holster. Hernandez for three, air ball. And that might about do it. 10 seconds left, clock still running. Chiloquin inbounds, and they're just going to walk it up. Cece Weezer dribbles it out, and that will do it. Another dominant win by Chiloquin over Lost River, 54-11. We'll take a break, discuss this one a little bit when we come back, and then get ready for the boys' game. Matt Bowling side, Josh Eldridge. This is our MyBasin Game of the Week.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it
Introducing Smith's Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
"54-11, your final score. Chiloquin girls with another dominant win over Lost River. Almost an exact duplicate of Monday's game between these two teams. Chiloquin won that one 54-17. The 11 points is a season low for Lost River. They had just set a new season low last night against Bonanza as they lost 47-16. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. Not really a whole lot to discuss in this one, Josh. I mean, it was all Chiloquin.
Yeah, they got out to a good start. Lost River played pretty good defense through most of the first half. After you got most of the way through that second quarter, Chiloquin, they just started to separate themselves.
We got the boys' game coming up here in about 7.5 minutes. We'll take a break and get reconfigured for that one. Don't go anywhere. Matt Bowling here alongside Josh Eldridge. It's our MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Welcome to our continuing coverage of the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. Still at Lost River High School for this night against the Raiders, against the Chiloquin Panthers. A rematch from earlier in the season, actually earlier this week. It was Monday when these two teams squared off back at Chiloquin High School in a 9-point victory for Lost River, 69-58. Glad to be with you. I'm Josh Eldridge, Matt Bowling by my side. Now, we were there on Monday, and it was a pretty good game throughout most of it. It's just another one of those nights where a run late in the second half allows Lost River to pull away, and overall a good game and a Lost River win back on Monday.
Yeah, Chiloquin, I mean, it was a great effort from them. They had a good first half. They led by 4 at halftime. Unable to really sustain it, though, in the second half. I think that's where some fatigue may have started to set in. They were playing their 4th game in 5 days, but now, as we've been mentioning, we mentioned that throughout the girls' game, the shoe's on the other foot. Lost River is playing their 4th game in 6 days. Meanwhile, Chiloquin has had 4 days or 5 days of rest, as they haven't played since that Monday game.
Yeah, they've been able to kind of wait for this one. Meantime, Lost River comes off a win last night against Bonanza. They won that one. It's
59-50.
Yeah, I had that written down, and it just ran away from me. Yeah, it was a good game, a game that Lost River just jumped out to an early lead. Bonanza could never quite get back into arm's length. They got as close as 12 after being down by 20, but never really got much closer to that until the final about minute or so when they started hitting a couple threes in desperation, only losing by 9. Getting the starting lineup for Chiloquin. Danny Black, the sophomore, starting at guard. Number 5, Horseman Weezer, a senior. Number 23, guy who scored 34 points back on Monday, Micah Hescock, a senior. Number 30, Manny Ochoa, a sophomore. And number 32, Marquez Hescock. Notable people missing, mostly number 21, Isaiah Reynolds. He was a key part of defense for Chiloquin back on Monday. When he was off the floor, that's when Lost River started their runs. He's going to be missing tonight.
Yeah, he got in foul trouble, had to sit for most of the third quarter. I think they really missed him on defense. He was a big part of the reason, his absence, rather, was a big part of the reason Tate Freeman was able to go for 28 points.
Tate Freeman in the starting lineup tonight for Lost River. He's joined by Emmett O'Brien, Connor Dunley, Chase McAuliffe, and Caden Hartman. Looks like we are just about ready for tip-off, and the Raiders control the opening tip. It's batted out to Dunley. Hartman back over to Dunley. Bouncing it to Freeman. Out to Dunley, to O'Brien. Hartman taking a triple, trying to start us off. It's left short, but Freeman's there for the putback, and the Raiders strike first in this one. Other side, it's Weezer with it, bouncing it down low to Ochoa, cutting to the rim. No good. The Raiders move the other way with it. Here's Hartman into the front court. Also, an addition tonight for Lost River that they were missing on Monday was Chase McAuliffe, was unable to play and has been back most of the week. Took a shot there, a little bit strong on the layup. Finished with 5 points last night in the Lost River win. And I'm sure the Raiders are glad to have him back for this one as well. Hartman lofts it down low to McAuliffe. Goes up against the defender and gets fouled on the shot, so McAuliffe going to the line. Lost River currently on a 5-game winning streak against Chiloquin, dating back the last 4 seasons. And this year they've won 11 of their last 12 games overall. First free throw from Chase was good, as is the second. And so a 4-0 lead for Lost River with just under 7 minutes to go in the first. Hescock trapped for a moment, gets rid of it to Weezer. Trying to drive the right lane, but he will travel too many steps before he got the pass off and a turnover. Here's Dunley now for Lost River. Hartman to O'Brien. It's McAuliffe dishing it down low to Freeman, and a held ball is called. Possession arrow favors Chiloquin. Micah Hescock bringing it up the floor. He mentioned he scored 34 points back on Monday. That was courtesy of 8 made triples in that game. He really shot the lights out. Has it now. Took a screen. Tries to dump it off down low to Weezer. Ball finds its way out to Ochoa for a wing 3. No good. Chiloquin tries for the putback. It's lost underneath, out of bounds. And I believe the Panthers are going to hold on to it, and they will. Hescock to inbound. Lofts it to Weezer. A long 2, no good. Weezer tried to follow his own rebound. Gets it underneath to Danny Black, who converts under the rim. And Chiloquin on the board. They trail 4-2 with 6 minutes to go in the first. Lost River continuing to pass around the perimeter over to Hartman, now to O'Brien. Looks like they're trying to free up Freeman down low, who dominated back on Monday. Just passed around the perimeter until he tries to get an edge on the defender. That time it was hit out of bounds by Chiloquin, and Lost River will inbound it again. Hartman out to Dunley. McAuliffe to O'Brien, left alone for a near side triple. No good, but Freeman with the rebound. Back over to Dunley. Hartman back to Dunley. This time it's McAuliffe. Down low, he's taken some contact. The shot no good. Ball finds its way back to Dunley. Driving inside, kicks it to Hartman. Now it's McAuliffe in the near corner. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Dunley pulls a 3, swish for Connor Dunley. 7-2, Lost River leads Chiloquin with just about 5 minutes to go in the first. Here's Hescock. Going to try to respond, terminates the dribble, dishes it to Ochoa. And now it's Marquez Hescock, who tried to get the pass underneath. The loose ball was picked up by Chiloquin, but then they dish it out of bounds. And so Lost River will take over. And we're going to have timeout called by James Janey of Chiloquin. We're going to take it with them. Right now the score 7-2, and Lost River's in front, just under 5 to go in the first quarter on the MyBasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Back into the action, and Lost River's got it coming out of the break. They lead 7-2 with 4:49 to go in the first quarter. McAuliffe gets it over to Dunley, now to Hartman. Back to Dunley, head fakes a 3, gets the defender to jump, tried to dump it down low to Hartman, but a turnover. And here come the Panthers. Hescock, top of the key, dumping it down low to Horseman Weezer. Up against Dunley, tries to move to the rim, a layup high off the glass is no good. The putback attempt offline as well, and Lost River comes away with the rebound. Dunley shoves it ahead to Hartman. Tries to rifle one into McAuliffe, but it's taken away by Horseman Weezer. Here's Hescock now, along the right side, step back, long 2, he leaves it short, and Freeman with the rebound. Tate Freeman now into the front court. Shoves it to Hartman, and O'Brien couldn't decide if he wanted to go left or right and will travel. Chiloquin a bit slow out of the gates on a Saturday afternoon game. Kind of to be expected. We saw it a little bit in the girls' game as well. Score 7-2 with 3:42 to go in the first. Hescock dishes it over to Marquez Hescock. Now back to Micah. Switches the dribble, tries to split up the defense. A free throw line jumper, no good, but Marquez Hescock there for the putback. It's 7-4 Lost River lead, 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Hartman near side to Dunley. Freeman tried to get one inside, but again taken away by the Panthers. They've defended the interior passing lanes well in the early first quarter. As has Lost River, a takeaway from Dunley. Trying to get out in the fast break, but dribbles out beyond the perimeter. Kicks it to Hartman, back to Dunley. Hartman to O'Brien, now dumps it to McAuliffe. Dunley alone for a triple again. Won't be able to connect on the second one, but McAuliffe with the rebound, spins around, puts it back up and in. 4 points for Chase McAuliffe gives his team a 9-4 lead with about 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Here's Manny Ochoa for Chiloquin. Top of the key to Hescock. Now Micah has it on the left side. Fields a double team and gets rid of it. Manny Ochoa in the starting lineup today had the basketball for a moment. The sophomore starting in place of Isaiah Reynolds. Dumping it down low to Black. His layup no good. Out of bounds it goes, and Chiloquin holds on to possession. A couple of subs coming in for Lost River. Bo Sanders and Juan Navarro into the game. Out go Tate Freeman and Connor Dunley. Pass quickly to Hescock. Now with it is Horseman Weezer. Back out to Micah Hescock. Another mid-range jumper offline. Out of bounds once more. This time last touched by the Panthers, so the Raiders will take over. 1:55 to go in the first. O'Brien has it, dumps it to Sanders. Sanders beyond the arc, gets it to Navarro. Navarro fields a double team, gets it to McAuliffe, lofts it out to O'Brien, now to Hartman, to Navarro. Lost River throwing the ball around the perimeter, eventually find Dunley down low. They kick it back outside to Navarro into a three. No good. McAuliffe there for the rebound, goes back up and in. Second chance points for Chase McAuliffe. That's 6 for him so far today. 11-4, the Raiders in front of the Panthers. 1:17 to go in the first. Micah Hescock trapped top of the key, has to get rid of it, and finally finds Black. Now it's back to Micah Hescock. Lost River again trying to operate with that 1-3-1 zone that worked last night against Bonanza. That time creating the missed shot, a rebound. Raiders dishing it over to Navarro. Gets it over to Hartman. He steps into a triple. That's good. First points of the night for Caden Hartman. And his team leads by 10, 14-4 with 36 seconds to go in the first. A turnover, and here come the Raiders once more. Pass goes over to Hartman, now to Navarro, back to Hartman. McAuliffe lofting it over back to Hartman, now O'Brien. Dumps it off to Sanders. Tries to find O'Brien cutting to the rim, loose ball, kicked out to Navarro. Kicks it to McAuliffe. Can he shoot the three? It's just a little bit strong. Rebound collected underneath by Sanders. He's stripped away, 6 seconds to go in the first quarter, and a whistle, and I believe Micah Hescock stepped out of bounds trying to collect the loose ball, so the Raiders will get a chance on this side of the floor with 3 seconds to go. They've got a little bit of time to be choosy, but instead they find O'Brien wide open for three. It's no good, and that will bring us to the end of the first. Lost River up by 10, 14-4 after 8 minutes. We'll be back with a second quarter on mybasin.com.
There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities. adding more threads to the fabric to make our community stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Back with you from Lost River High School and the MyBasin.com game of the week, 14-4, the score right now. 10-point game as we start the second, and Lost River leads Chiloquin. Here's Tate Freeman, who's checked back into the game, trying to drive the baseline, loses the handle for a moment, but then finds Dunley. Dunley gets rid of it to Hartman. Sanders, now it's his turn to try to drive the baseline, gets it to Freeman. Head fakes, moves around the defender. Tate Freeman so dangerous, close to the rim. And for Freeman, that's 4 points for him on the afternoon. His team leads 16-4. He led scoring for Lost River last time these teams played on Monday with 28 points. He also led his team in scoring last night against Bonanza with 20 points. A turnover for Chiloquin creates another opportunity for the Raiders. Here's Emmett O'Brien dumping it to Freeman. Freeman's pass was deflected out of bounds by Marquez Hescock, and the Raiders will hold on to the basketball. Inbound quickly to Dunley. Now O'Brien gets it to Freeman. Freeman to Hartman again. Dumping it down low to Freeman. Close to the rim, kicks it outside to Hartman. Finds Dunley alone for a far corner triple, and that rattles home for Connor Dunley. That's his second made triple of the game. 6 points for him so far, and his team up 19-4 with 6:50 to go in the second quarter. Here's Micah Hescock. He tries to answer with a triple, but it's wide left. Hescock scoreless throughout the first. Here's Hartman into the front court, speeding past the defender for the lay-in. And timeout is called. We'll take it. It's 21-4 with 6:34 to go in the second quarter, and Lost River in front of Chiloquin. The MyBasin.com game of the week.
What rock great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Lost River out in front big time early in this ball game. 6:34 to go in the second, and they've already built up a 21-4 advantage over Chiloquin.
Yeah, much different from how the game played out on Monday. Lost River is not messing around today.
You know, we thought that some of the rest might help Chiloquin coming into this game, but it looks like Lost River's picking up right where they left off last night against Bonanza. Chiloquin answers with a 3 there, but maybe staying in a rhythm has helped Lost River heading into tonight's contest. Pass down low to Sanders, bounces it to Emmett O'Brien. A high left-handed floater is in. Those are the first points for O'Brien so far today. His team leads 23-7. 5:46 to go in the second quarter. Checking into the game was Dalton Miller for Chiloquin. Tries to feed Marquez Hescock down low, but the layup too strong. Dunley, a beautiful find to Freeman underneath the cup. Freeman's got 6 points. His team leads 25-7. 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Ochoa kicks it near side to Cole Miller, who's checked into the game for the first time so far. Kicks it back to Ochoa. Picked up by Hartman, who jumped the screen. Now to Freeman. Freeman picked it loose for a moment, and now Ochoa's trapped in front of the Lost River bench. Gets rid of it to Miller, or pardon me, that's Horseman Weezer. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Kicked it out to Miller for 3. That's too strong, and Freeman with the rebound. Pass up front to Tate Freeman for 3. No good. And it's Marquez Hescock who cleans up the glass and brings it up for the Panthers. Pass comes near side, almost broken up by Freeman. Ball eventually finds its way over to Weezer. Now in the far corner to Miller. Miller trying to go to work against Hartman, extends the defense a little bit and dumps it down low to Weezer. Weezer head fakes, dumps it down low to, I believe that was Hescock cutting to the rim. And it was Marquez Hescock, 4 points for him so far, but a layup on the other side from Freeman. Quick answer. Score 27-9, 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ochoa dumping it off to Miller. And Miller gets fouled. I believe this will be charged to Freeman, and it will. Couple of subs in for the Raiders. Dunley and Sanders to the bench, and McAuliffe and Juan Navarro check back in. Here's Ochoa. Long triple for Manny Ochoa. Can't find his range, and the rebound, while a nice save by Cole Miller, winds up in the hands of Tate Freeman. A long two on the other side for Tate Freeman. It's good. That was about a 19-footer, about as long as a two you can take. And Tate Freeman swished it. Their team up 20. About 3.5 to go in the second quarter. And a whistle underneath. This should earn Marquez Hescock a pair of free throws. This first free throws of the game so far for Chiloquin. Hescock already has 4 points so far today, and his first free throw is good. Couple of subs in for the Panthers. Danny Black checks back in. We also see Manny Ochoa, it looks like, checking back in. Dalton Miller to the bench. Two for two trip to the line for Hescock, 29-11. Lost River in front. O'Brien gets it to McAuliffe. And now it's to Dunley. Dunley back to McAuliffe. Finds Navarro cutting to the rim. His shot rejected down low by Danny Black. A chance in transition for the Panthers. Shoved ahead to Miller. His layup won't go. The putback is offline. The Panthers get their own rebound once more, and I believe we've got timeout called by Chiloquin as Hescock fell on the rebound. So a quick timeout with 3 minutes to go in the second, and Lost River leads Chiloquin 29-11 on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Thanks for being with us in the MyBasin.com Game of the Week. It's Military Appreciation Night today at Lost River High School. And all current and former military personnel get in for free. They get some free popcorn today. Seeing quite a few more bodies in the building for the boys' game. So glad to see a nice turnout here at Lost River High School. We've got the public address announcer sharing some facts about the armed services, too. It's always nice to see the armed services get honored at a game like this. We saw Henley's earlier in the year. And you mentioned it, Matt, not the only schools who do it in our area with such deep ties to the military in the Klamath Basin with Kingsley Field and everything else. It's nice to see all these festivities to honor the armed services. Here's Hescock with it. Dumping it down low to Weezer. Tries to get around the defender, but Dunley is going to foul him. And so a couple of free throws coming up for Horseman Weezer. Weezer's first free throw is just short of falling. Weezer scored 7 last time these two teams met up on Monday. Missed the second free throw, an empty trip for Horseman Weezer, and Lost River coming the other way. Hartman dumping it down low to Dunley, spins around, an open look to the rim is in. That's Connor Dunley's first 2-point field goal. He's also got a couple of triples so far in the game. Scored 15 points last night against Bonanza. Horseman Weezer trying to get the defense to follow him to the rim and kick it back out to Ochoa. Now it's Ochoa cutting to the rim. Finds Marquez Hescock trying to get to the hoop, and he's fouled. And so Chiloquin trying to get to the line is maybe a way back into the ball game. Marquez Hescock 2 for 2 at the penalty stripe so far, as the team Lost River's 2 for 4 so far. And that free throw no good off the back iron. Second free throw rattles out, and Emmett O'Brien cleans up the glass. Shoves it ahead to Hartman. Here's Navarro with it, dumping it down low to McCullough. Fields a double team, back out to Navarro. And now it's Hartman with it. The Raiders kick it to Dunley. Cross-court pass to Hartman. Now back to Navarro. Whipping it down low to Dunley. Working around, head fakes on the block. His shot no good. Rebound collected by McCullough, and second chance points. That young man's bread and butter.
He is so good underneath. One of the best pure athletes on this team. And a lot of toughness to boot.
33-11, Lost River leads. 1:19 to go in the second quarter. Micah Hescock looking for his range, kicks it over to Ochoa. Ochoa taking a screen, trying to dump it down low to Black, but the pass taken away by the Raiders. Now here comes Dunley into the front court. Dunley switches to his left hand, trying to split the defense, and I believe Micah Hescock's going to reach in on his way to the rim, and a foul. Going to see Doug Jenkins check in for Lost River. Out goes Juan Navarro. Hartman to inbound. Kicks it out to Dunley, zips it down low to McCullough. And let's see, I believe this one's going against Chiloquin as well. It was a push. Marquez Hescock trying to control Chase McCullough. He's a hard man to contain down low. Takes the lob quickly, but he can't come down with it. And a turnover, and Chiloquin takes over. Here's Micah Hescock racing into the front court. Gets rid of it to Horseman Weezer. He gets it back to Micah Hescock. Now it's Horseman Weezer. Tries to find Dylan Black cutting to the cup. Ball goes out of bounds, and Lost River takes over. 29 seconds to go in the first half. Shot clock is off, and Lost River leads 33-11. Here's Hartman. Kicking it over to O'Brien. Now to Dunley. Dunley back to Jenkins. Hartman trying to dump it down low to McCullough. Immediately fields a double team and coughs the ball up. Now here come the Panthers. Find Marquez Hescock close to the rim. Too strong on the layup. Now 5 seconds to go in the half. Here's Emmett O'Brien. Taking it himself. Kicks it out to Jenkins. A buzzer-beating three at the half is offline, and we go to the locker rooms with Lost River. Up 33-11. We'll be back with a couple of first-half stats, as well as a look at what's ahead for each of these teams. That's up next on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Sports was kind of defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
It's halftime at Lost River High School, and the Raiders are in front of the Chiloquin Panthers 33-11. Let's break down who's leading the teams in scoring. Right now, it's Tate Freeman with 10 points leading the Raiders. He's also helped out by 8 points from Chase McAuliffe, another 8 points from Connor Dunley, 5 points from Caden Hartman, and 2 from Emmett O'Brien. For Chiloquin, their leading scorer is Marquez Hescock. He's got 6 points so far tonight. 3 points for Manny Ochoa and 2 for Danny Black. Gets you to 11 points for Chiloquin. This game's been a different story than the one we saw on Monday. Lost River is, they're rolling right now.
Yeah, well, we thought this would be more competitive than the girls' game. But, in fact, we have an even larger margin at halftime than the girls' game. Chiloquin girls were up by 17 at the half. Lost River boys here ahead by 22. But I think that goes to show just what a big difference the right personnel can make. I mean, Monday, Lost River didn't have Chase McAuliffe. They do today. On Monday, Chiloquin did have Isaiah Reynolds for at least the first half when they played really well, took a 4-point lead at the break, but today they don't. And, well, now they've got 11 points in the first 2 quarters. So, yeah, Lost River just running away with this one. Like I said earlier, they're not here to mess around today. They've only got a few games. They've only got 2 games after this left in the regular season. They're trying to get in playoff form.
Yeah, and they're trying to hold on to first place in the Mountain Valley League as well. Right now they've got it. We'll take a look at the standings on the other side of the break on mybasin.com. Tell you who Lost River's competing with for a conference crown coming up over the next couple of weeks. So leave it here as they lead 33-11 at half on the mybasin.com Game of the Week.
Comfortable and not at Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
It's halftime at Lost River High School, and the Raiders up 33-11 over Chiloquin. Right now, the Lost River Raiders, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, they are in first place in the Mountain Valley League. Let's take a quick look now at the standings. Right now, they're 9-1 in league play, actually in front of Trinity Lutheran, who's 8-0. That's Lost River's one loss in league play earlier in the season. It was a 66-44 loss for Lost River. After that, it's Cross Point Christian. They're 7-4 in league play. Bonanza 6-2. Chiloquin, these Panthers are 6-4. North Lake and Paisley, they're 4-5, and so on down to Gilchrist, who's still looking for their first league win. It's interesting, Lost River has sole possession of league right now. They won't play Trinity Lutheran again this season, What's up next for Trinity Lutheran? It's a couple of Klamath County teams. Bonanza, they're playing on Monday, then a couple of games against the winless Gilchrist to close out the season. Sandwich in Central Christian in there, and Lost River is hoping for a good latter half of the season and hoping that somebody, maybe two teams, can hand Trinity Lutheran a couple of losses before the league tournament in a couple of weekends. So it's interesting that they only play once. They'll play a couple of teams twice. Mountain Valley League has 10 teams. It's one of the larger conferences in the entire state, so the schedule's a little bit funky, but it's coming down to the wire.
Certainly. And it's a little weird that the computer lists Lost River in first place. I don't think you can really.
The only reason that is because they have more wins in league play than Trinity Lutheran.
Yeah.
So
Still, though, I think it really is Trinity Lutheran's league to lose, though, even though they technically have fewer wins. They're undefeated with a fairly favorable schedule to close out the regular season. That Bonanza game is probably their best chance at a loss.
Yeah, and that game, just looking at it, will be at home for Trinity Lutheran, and that's on Monday. They are playing Prospect Charter right now, so I guess awaiting a result from that one. But Prospect is 3-6 right now, 8-10 overall, so kind of a long shot there. But it's a top-heavy conference, and Lost River looking to stay in the mix. The Mountain Valley League tournament is in a couple of weekends. Just read that it's supposed to take place at Henley High School the weekend of February 16th and 17th. And so we'll try to keep you updated on that as it moves forward as well. But that's how your Mountain Valley League standings shake out right now. A couple minutes away from the third quarter. We're going to step aside one last time in a halftime show. Right now, Lost River up 33-11 over Chiloquin. We'll be back on mybasin.com. Back into the action at Lost River High School. The score 35-11. We had a quick bucket and an early start to the third quarter. It was Tate Freeman who struck first. And the Panthers look for an answer. Here's Hescock into a triple. No good. And Dunley with the rebound. Something we didn't really mention. Micah Hescock, who had 34 points back on Monday. A goose egg right now for Chiloquin. Here's Tate Freeman getting it to O'Brien. Dribbling to the rim, reverse layup, up and in. Horseman Weezer getting it to Marquez Hescock. His shot no good. And here comes Caden Freeman. Pardon me, Hartman, he's played every minute of the game so far. Now McAuliffe dumps it down low to Dunley, falling away from the rim and the foul. Dunley taking the contact, getting the hoop, and getting free throws. Give him 10 points now on the night. This will be his first look at the penalty stripe so far in this game. And the free throw good. The score 40-13, 6.5 to go in the third. Micah Hescock dishing it to Marquez. Now to Manny Ochoa. Ochoa gets it over to Black. He's got 2 points so far today. Now back to Ochoa. He thought about a three, but then takes it back out. Hescock dancing around the perimeter, trying to dump it off down low, but it's taken away by Lost River and Chase McAuliffe. It'll be McAuliffe who crosses the timeline. Over to Hartman, a lane to the rim, and can't get the layup off. Dunley with the rebound. He tries to put it back and gets fouled. So Dunley to the line for 2.
Well, I mentioned earlier Chase McAuliffe, one of the best pure athletes on this team. Connor Dunley's the other one. He was an absolute superstar for Lost River football this season. Played for his dad, Dennis. He started at running back and defensive back, was also the kick and punt returner. Put up over 1,300 rushing yards, 600 kick return yards, 17 total touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, which was tied for the most in Oregon in his senior season. Helped the Raiders win back-to-back 8-player state championships.
Goes 1 of 2 at the line there, and it's 41-13. Turnover for Chiloquin on the other end, gives Lost River the basketball back. Here's Freeman coming along the near side. O'Brien dumps it off down low to Dunley, strong to the rim, and Connor fouled again. So more free throws coming up for Dunley. Lowering the shoulder, trying to remember what he did when he had pads on earlier in the season. Right now he is 2 of 3 at the free throw line. That one rims out.
Yeah, he really was electric on the football field. A threat to score practically any time he touched the ball, whether he was returning a kick or getting a handoff. Great player.
Goes 1 of 2 at the line again, 42-13. Lost River leads. There's 5.5 to go in the third. Triple shot at and missed by Chiloquin. And now Freeman's trying to race up the floor for Lost River. Step into the rim, has his shot blocked. Rebound is picked up underneath by Dunley. His shot is no good. And then McAuliffe, his putback attempt offline as well. Third chance bucket is in for McAuliffe. That's McAuliffe's first points of the second half. Give him 10 for the game. And a foul on the other end. I believe Micah Hescock was moved around trying to take that shot. But they're saying that was on the floor, perhaps? Yeah, that was calling it on the floor against Hartman. Here's Micah Hescock to inbound. Gets it to Ochoa. Now it's Dylan Black who's checked into the game for Chiloquin. Gets it off to Ochoa. A long triple for Manny Ochoa. Is an air ball, goes out of bounds, and Lost River takes it. Juan Navarro checking in. Out goes Chase McAuliffe. And here's Caden Hartman. Ahead to Navarro. Freeman zipping it over to Hartman. Now to Navarro once more. O'Brien to Dunley, a great find to Hartman. His shot no good. The putback is in for Hartman. 7 points on the game for Caden Hartman. It's 46-13. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Micah Hescock still left scoreless. Gets rid of it. Now it's to Black. trying to drive inside. Outside to Ochoa. A triple again, an air ball. That's back-to-back triples. They're just left short from Manny Ochoa. Still trying to find his range. Only one made triple in the game so far. Here's Hardman. Ahead to Freeman. Tries to get it down to O'Brien, but it's taken away by Dylan Black. He's trying to take it up against him. 4 Raiders against himself, but it's too strong on the layup. And here comes Hartman. To Navarro. Bouncing it down low to O'Brien. Another high float shot from about 7 feet out is in. And a whistle. Not sure, I think there might have been something on the floor on the near side, but regardless, we are ready to go. 48-13. 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Here's Micah Hescock. Lost River tries to trap him, gets rid of it to Ochoa. Then they surround him, kicking it outside to Black for 3, and that's a good one. His first points, the freshman, into the scorebook. Here's O'Brien on the far side to Navarro. Zips it down low to Dunley. Might have been bumped. The bucket's good, no foul, and 50-16 Lost River. Micah Hescock into the front court. Against Hardman. Lost River again jumping the screen on Hescock for most of the game. Trying to force the ball out of his hands. That time it's a turnover by Ochoa. And here's Emmett O'Brien. He has his pocket picked by Marquez Hescock. Here's Marquez racing up the floor. He loses it to Dunley. The team's trading turnovers with just under 3 to go in the third. Dunley along the far side. Throws it to Freeman. He fires a triple. That's in. $15 points for Freeman in the game. That's his first made triple. And another stoppage in play. It looked like there was something going on at the scorer's table. Regardless, we've got some subs in. Doug Jenkins and Bo Sanders check in for Connor Dunley and Tate Freeman for Lost River. And we also see Dalton Miller in for Danny Black and the Chiloquin Panthers. Here comes Chiloquin, 2:20 to go in the third. They trail 53-16. Hescock again trapped, tries to get rid of it, and again, well, almost a turnover if it wasn't touched out of bounds by Juan Navarro. Chiloquin gets a second breath here with 23 seconds on the shot clock. Lofting it high to Black. He answers again with a triple. Back-to-back made threes for him. And the score now 53-19 with under 2 to go. Jenkins tries to answer. Won't be able to. Rebound collected by Chiloquin. Micah Hescock trying to race up the floor. Kicks it outside. Can he do it again? 3 made triples in a row for the freshman, Dylan Black. 53-22, a minute 40 to go in the third. Here's Jenkins to O'Brien. Now Navarro. Down low to O'Brien. Kicks it out to Jenkins. He tries his shot from 3. No good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going the way of the Panthers. Here's Micah Hescock into the front court. Going to work against Hardman. Steps back, a triple. No good. And the rebound collected by Navarro. 1:10 to go in the third. 53-22, Lost River leads. Here's Jenkins to Hardman. Now to Navarro. Thought about a 3. Takes a step to the left and banks in the triple. That's Navarro's first points of the afternoon. His team up 56-22. Here's Micah Hescock trying to slice the defense. Goes up with the shot and rejected by Hardman. Out of bounds it went. Chiloquin holds on to it. Micah Hescock getting rid of it to Ochoa. Ochoa has it. A long 3, rims out. Loose ball collected by O'Brien. 1-on-3 in the fast break. He's outnumbered, so he takes it back out, kicks it to Jenkins. Now to Hartman. Here's Sanders now, gets rid of it to Jenkins. Hartman down low to Sanders. Bouncing it to O'Brien, fading away, the shot no good. 15 seconds to go in the third. Here's Ochoa. Gets it to Black, and Black will travel. Eight seconds on the clock in the third quarter. And Lost River a chance at maybe one more look before the buzzer. Here's Hartman. Gets it to Jenkins, now to O'Brien. 5 seconds on the clock now. Navarro gets it down low to Sanders. A high shot off the glass won't go. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 56-22. Lost River in front of Chiloquin as we head to the final frame. This is the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
All I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever. Wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
56-22 as we enter the fourth quarter at Lost River High School, and the Raiders lead the Panthers. Glad that you've spent some of the afternoon with us on MyBasin.com, and it looks like we've got some subs in for Lost River towards the end of the bench. I see Nate Huffman into the game. Bo Sanders attempts the lay-in. It's good. First points for Sanders so far today, and we've got a running clock here in this fourth quarter, as long as the margin stays above 30 for Lost River. Right now at 36. Well, they try to find Miller cutting to the rim, but it's taken away by Connor Dunley, who's checked back into the game for Lost River to start the fourth. Underhand pass to Huffman. Now to Hartman, to Jenkins. Zipping it to Sanders. Finds Huffman, alone top of the key, denies the triple. And to Dunley. Dunley back to Hartman, dumping it off to Sanders. The pass picked away by Chiloquin and picked up by Cole Miller. Here's Manny Ochoa. Shoving it ahead to Dylan Black. A long triple is in. Dylan Black cannot miss in this second half. 58-25. Here's the Raiders as they lead. Connor Dunley, ball high above his head, trying to loft it down low to Hartman. Hartman going hard to the cup, no good. Sanders with the rebound, and he is fouled. We'll see if they give it to him on the shot. And they will. Bo Sanders going to the line. His first free throw attempt so far of the night. So far after that make, Lost River now 6 of 8 at the free throw line for the game. That's a pretty good showing here in front of a home crowd. That free throw rattles in and out. And Manny Ochoa will bring it up for Chiloquin. Bouncing it ahead to Dylan Black. Here's Ochoa again. Ochoa driving inside, and it's ripped away by Huffman. Here's Huffman again. To Jenkins. Now Hartman to Dunley. Dunley tries to find some room along the baseline, gets rid of it to Sanders, and Bo is fouled again on the shot, so 2 more free throws coming up for him. With the win Lost River, all things pointing towards them holding on. It'd give them win number 19 on the season and win number 10 in league play as Sanders misses that free throw. Dunley checks out. And an unfamiliar face for Lost River, number 12. We'll try to get who that is for you in just a moment. Second free throw, no good for Sanders. 59-25. Rifling a pass into the front court to Miller. Miller to Ochoa. He fires a triple. Again, off the front of the rim for Ochoa. Here come the Raiders. Pass to Jenkins. Now to Sanders. Jenkins gets rid of it to Sanders. Now back to Hartman. Here's Huffman. A step inside the free throw line. Gets rid of it to O'Brien. Oh, pardon me, that wasn't O'Brien. That was Hartman to the rim. And now 61-25. And 9 points for Caden Hartman. Ochoa trying to find Marquez Hescock to the rim. He's fouled. The bucket didn't go. But Marquez Hescock to the line. He is 2 of 4 so far today. Six points in that first half. He's been left scoreless so far in the second half. And again, in the running clock situation, the clock only pauses for free throws here. And so right now we're stopped at 4:15. Out goes Caden Hartman for the first time in the game. In comes Juan Navarro. He's played a hard game with 9 points again and a made triple back in the first half. Second free throw was good for Hescock, and so score now 61-26, 4:10 to go in the fourth. Pass near side for a Huffman triple. It's no good, and the rebound collected by Dylan Black. Black racing up the front court, trying to take it himself. Off the glass, Black no good. And ball goes out of bounds. Chiloquin holds on to it.
Josh, there's number 12 on the JV roster. That's Wyatt Simmons.
All right, we'll roll with it. Here come the Raiders. Huffman, a triple, back iron. Rebound collected by Marquez Hescock. Now it's Ochoa. Ochoa, a shot from about 14, and he gets that one to fall. It's been a long time coming for Manny Ochoa. 5 points for him so far today. Simmons passing it over to Navarro, now to Sanders, now Jenkins. Dishing it down low to Huffman. Kicks it out to Navarro. Under 3 to go now in the fourth. Down low, it's Huffman again. Shot high off the glass, too strong. And Chiloquin collects the loose ball. Here's Manny Ochoa. Lofting it into, I believe that was Marquez Hescock, who gets the foul in the bucket. And free throws coming up for Hescock. Rex Bodel checking in for Lost River. Out goes Bo Sanders. First we've seen of Bodel so far tonight, the junior wearing the number 22. Free throw rattles home for Hescock. Score now 61-31. Here's Navarro. Over to Simmons. Now Jenkins kicks it to Huffman. Navarro finds a lane to the rim, goes up with the shot and gets fouled. Got Dylan Black to jump all over him. And Navarro will not be going to the line because he didn't go back up for a second shot. And checking out is Marquez Hescock for Chiloquin. Into the game for them was Neo Perizu, one of the freshmen who's swinging up for varsity tonight. Navarro bouncing it down low to Huffman. Layup with his back to the bucket is no good. Here's Dylan Black. Black steps back, gets rid of it. Here's Danny Black. Kicks it out to Dylan Black. Another three-pointer. Shot at and missed this time for Dylan Black. He does have 12 points, all on made triples. As a matter of fact, by my math, leads his team so far. 36 seconds to go in the ball game. 18 on the shot clock. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Bodel and the Raiders. Clock continues to run, 25 seconds now. Chiloquin might get one more look at the rim, but only thing left to hear in this one is the final buzzer. Here's Perizu. A long triple for Perizu. No good. And Lost River can likely just dribble this one out with 8 seconds to go. In fact, they shove it ahead to Bodel. And a turnover. But there you hear it. The final buzzer has sounded, and this one is over, 61-31. We'll wrap this one up briefly on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to Lost River High School. Final score of the MyBasin.com Game of the Week today. It was 61-31, a 30-point victory for Lost River. We've got some unofficial scoring totals for you. Leading scoring for Lost River. Another big night for Tate Freeman with 15 points, 13 for Connor Dunley, 10 for Chase McAuliffe, 9 for Caden Hartman, 6 from Emmett O'Brien, and 3 from Bo Sanders and Juan Navarro. For Chiloquin, 12 points for the freshman Dylan Black on all made three-pointers, 10 points for Marquez Hescock, 5 for Manny Ochoa, and 2 for Danny Black as we wrap this one up for you, 61-31. I want to thank everybody who's made tonight's broadcast possible on mybasin.com, all the head coaches and the athletic director here at Lost River High School, Mr. Sidney Hobgood, for allowing us to, be up here, perched up in the bird's nest for tonight's broadcast. And for my partner, Matt Bowling, I'm Josh Eldridge saying good night from Lost River High School.